My name is Ben Dorr. I'm with the American Firearms Association, coming at you live tonight on the major, massive gun control push that's happening right now in Washington, D.C. Get in here, guys. Let me know where you're watching from. We have been on Capitol Hill all day long talking with congressmen, congresswomen. We've had some great conversations with them. We have live updates for you from Washington, D.C. We're going to play this tonight, let you guys hear from our staff that's on Capitol Hill, has been there all day long. And we're going to break down these gun control bills for you and the vote that's coming up likely tomorrow, possibly Thursday, on red flag gun confiscations and Jerry Nadler's Disarm America bill, HR 7910. But guys, you have to let me know where you're watching from all across this great country of ours. And we are going to get this kicked off right away. If you're not a member of the American Firearms Association, I invite you right now. Join us. Go to joinafa.org, become a member of the American Firearms Association tonight. We'd love to have you on board. Let us know where you're watching from, and we're going to jump right into this. Let's see here. Let's get this chat going so we can see who's coming in from where. There we go. We have Patriot Diva said she's from Florida. We have Bill in Nixon, Missouri. We have Dennis in Georgia. We have, the list goes on and on. Jane in Olean, New York. We have Ohio in the house. The list goes on and on, guys. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay, so here's what's happening. Our staff, like I said, has been on Capitol Hill all day long, and we're going to bring them in here so that they can talk to you about what is happening. This week is the biggest push for gun control that we have ever seen since Joe Biden took office. Straight up. 100%. Nothing that happened in 2021 compares to what's happening right now, because Republicans are supporting this gun control. It's a big push. There's votes happening tomorrow, and we're going to break this down for you. I'm going to bring on our Executive Vice President, Patrick Parsons, President Chris Dorr. We're going to bring them on here, guys, in just a minute so that they can tell you what's been going on in Washington, what they have been hearing today. Do me a favor, share this video with your family, share it with your friends. Just hammer that share button right away. And we're going to bring them in here. Again, they're live on Capitol Hill. It's been a huge day. It's going to be a huge day tomorrow. There's going to be hearings. There's going to be a vote on the House floor over the next couple of days on these gun control bills. And I'm going to bring them in here now, let them break it down.
Hey Ben, we're here outside the Capitol here in Washington, D.C. A massive day on Capitol Hill, and the congressmen were just coming into town today. We had lots of meetings. We met with the notorious MTG earlier today.
Yes.
Guys, I just want to give you all an update from here at the Capitol. Ben, I mean, it's just the red shirt radicals are combing through Capitol Hill. Our calls from our members and supporters, emails are coming in. They're pouring in, guys. Major votes this week in the House. Got a big gun control hearing tomorrow in the House Oversight Committee, and then we're expecting votes tomorrow and Thursday. Look, keep up the heat, keep up the pressure, guys. It's rainy here. It's disgusting. It's a swamp. I'm here with the president of our organization, everybody, as you know him, Chris Dorr. Chris, kind of go over the day today. We met with a bunch of members. And the big hearings tomorrow and this week. I mean, what do gun owners need to do, in your opinion, here to keep up this level of heat?
Well, Ben and everybody watching right now, you need to keep doing what you have been doing. Like he just said, there's red shirt radical lying commie mommies crawling all over this place. I think Jon Stewart was here today, the dumbass comedian.
McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey was here. They have actors up there trying to tell us to disarm ourselves.
Yeah.
But we're hearing from these members all on the Hill here today that they're hearing already from grassroots gun owners all in their districts, all across the country. We met with Congress members from all over the country today, and that's what they're hearing already. So keep it up.
Yeah, guys, so we've got the big House fight this week. I want to bring in Aaron Dorr, who's also been working the Hill hard today, guys. Yeah, come on in here, Aaron. I want you to talk about the Senate, okay? And we talked about this with Congresswoman Green today. Yes, She's frustrated. We're all frustrated. Pelosi's got a lot of votes in the House. I mean, there's no doubt. She's got the votes in the House.
Yep.
The big fight is in the Senate. We've got sellouts over there. Number one, we know who he is from South Carolina. Tell everybody about it. The filibuster.
Yeah, guys,
who we're looking at.
Yeah, we got major action in the House tomorrow and Thursday, but we all know what's kind of happening behind the scenes right now. Behind the scenes, the common denominator in the Senate is red flag gun seizures. So we're going to see action on 7910 tomorrow in committee, maybe on the floor on Thursday. But the real coalescing right now among Senate Republicans is on red flag gun seizures in the Senate. That is the real fight we have right now in D.C., and we have a large number of rhino backstabbing Republicans who are already on board with this. You've got Lindsey Graham, you've got the Mitt Romneys, you've got the John Cornyn who's heading the entire thing up, John Cornyn, you've got Susan Collins, you have all these Republicans who are getting closer to that 60 vote threshold they have to pass legislation in the Senate. So the key thing here again is to pound on your congressmen and your senators and make sure they know there is no good form of red flag gun. This is not the NRA. We're not okay with any form of red flag gun seizures. No arrest, no indictment, no conviction. We should never lose our guns. That is a threat right now in D.C. Keep that pressure on and keep it on high. And I'll say one last thing too, Patrick. The media is nonstop attacking AFA members right now. Huffington Post, all kinds of fake news media attacking gun owners and AFA.
Yep.
They're hearing from gun owners. Got to keep that pressure on high.
Yeah, guys, you heard it right there. Big fights in the House. There's stuff flipping and flopping all over the schedule. To be clear, we expect 7910 tomorrow.
Yes.
A vote on all that. We could get into that. We'll get into it tomorrow morning, guys. We'll be at the hearing, and then red flags on Thursday, and then the big fights in the Senate. I mean, look, none of this would be happening if Mitch McConnell wasn't allowing his Republicans to go over as emissaries of these Democrats and try to get this stuff going. So keep up the heat. StopRedFlags.com, Ben. And I know you're going to carry the show on tonight, Ben, and just get everybody on board. Join up tonight. If there ever were a time to join, it's now. Haven't seen any other gun groups on Capitol Hill. The NRA's probably here, but they're probably working with Lindsey Graham, guys. So Ben, back to you. It's coming down hot here. We're working, burning the midnight oil almost here. But we want to be ready and fresh in the morning. And Ben, we're going to talk to you all then. So we're going to throw it back to you now, my man, and keep up the fight and kick butt on this show. Talk to you later, guys.
Appreciate you guys. Look at that. They're out there in the freaking pouring rain in D.C. right now, hammering on House Democrats, hammering on Senate Republicans not to cave in to the radical left and give everything away. That's what Lindsey Graham wants to do. They want to do a deal with the Democrats and pass gun control. But what they said was 100% correct. And I want to give a big shout out. There's so many people in this comment section right now who are saying that they sent in their pre-written email, that they've been signing their petitions, that they've been talking to their congressmen and U.S. senators. Thank you for that. For those who are looking for those links, they're on the top of whatever video you're watching this on, whatever Facebook page you're watching it on. There is a link there to StopRedFlags.com, which will bring you to the pre-written email telling your senators to vote against red flag gun confiscations, and StopHR7910.com. That'll do the exact same thing. I appreciate the hell out of these guys. If you agree, if you appreciate what's happening right now with the American Firearms Association, the fight that they are waging, that we are fighting in Washington, D.C., I invite you to go to joinafa.org. Become a member of this organization. Stand with us while we fight to end this push for gun control. What they also said, was also entirely true. Shannon Watts, honestly, I think that Shannon Watts, she's the head of Everytown. I think she has a crush on the American Firearms Association. I think she talks about us a lot. But she's raging about us on her Twitter page today. Oh, the American Firearms Association, they're a bunch of far-right activists and this and that. No, what we are is Americans. We're normal people. Like I'm one of those guys who goes into the men's bathroom and doesn't go into the women's bathroom. Okay. I'm one of those people that like has 4 sons, 4 little boys. That's how many. And I don't try to make them be little girls, okay? I'm a normal person, okay? And I assume that most of you who are watching right now are normal people. But the left, they hate us. You should have seen, I should have uploaded this picture, but there's the Huffington Post today, the old Huff and Chuff Post. writing these big attack articles. Oh, these far-right extremists, they're psychopaths, they're violent. No, we're not. We're not the violent ones. The people you support are the violent ones, HuffPost. You guys are the ones who support burning down our cities, looting our neighborhoods, burning down our police precincts, and the violent crime that we continue to have from the radical left. Don't tell us that we're violent. We're anything but. We like to protect our families. We like to protect our country. But that's where it's at, guys. Like they said just a few minutes ago when I had them on the show, Chris and Aaron and Patrick, tomorrow and Thursday, there's going to be votes on HR 7910. And I want to break this down for you very quickly. This is Congressman Jerry Nadler's Defund America bill. He says it's something about protecting children. It's not. He knows it's not. But what this bill does, and this is what the House is going to be voting on either tomorrow or the next day, it would ban all magazines over 10 rounds. So most of my pistol magazines would be gone. All the AR mags are gone. At least that's what they would want it to be. Every magazine over 10 rounds would be federally banned under HR 7910. Under 7910, all of your firearms would have to be put every moment of every day into a government-approved firearm lockup. Government-approved safes locked in there at all times. That's what would be required under HR 7910. And of course, like me, you're probably sitting there going, well, to hell with them. My gun's going to stay in my in the lampstand beside my bed where it always is. Well, and the day you actually have to use that, the cops will roll in there and say, where was that gun when you pulled it out to protect yourself from the guy coming through your window? And then you go to jail because the gun was illegally stored under HR 7910. The next thing this bill would do would raise the age of purchasing rifles from 18 to 21 years old. I think like 99% of all shootings that have happened over the last 10 years have been from people over the age of 21 or older. So I don't know what they expect to have happen here. 18-year-olds can go off and serve in our military. They can go fight for their country overseas. We give them fully automatic firearms overseas. But in America, we think that banning that is somehow going to stop crime. It's a joke. They know it's a joke, and it's what they're pushing anyway. This is all one bill, mind you guys. HR 7910, it would ban all AR-15 style firearms. All of them. And not just AR-15s. They don't have to have, all the characteristics of AR firearms. Most of this stuff involves most semi-automatic firearms. This would be a massive, massive gun ban. 100%. Hard no. The next thing this bill would do, HR 7910, would require the registration of all homemade firearms into the National Instant Checks system. I don't know where the government got the idea that our firearms, our property, our constitutionally guaranteed rights, that those things have to be registered in a database with the feds. I don't know where they got that idea, but we love the idea of folks having firearms that the government doesn't know about. Why should you know? Why should you know? I'm not going to commit a crime with my firearms. Why do you think you need to know what I own? But that's what this bill would do. It would require the registration of all homemade firearms with a NICS system. And that means all of your 80% lower receivers would need to have serial numbers put on them. And the last thing this bill would do would be to reclassify bump stocks under the NFA. So whereas bump stocks were illegalized under President Trump via executive order, they want to put this stuff right into federal code and make sure they are illegal permanently. We think, and this is just my opinion. If you disagree, let me know. But I think these people can go straight to hell. They can't have our guns. They can't have our Second Amendment freedoms, and we're going to fight to stop HR 7910 with everything that we have. Okay, if you agree, I need you guys to step up, help out if you can. If you're not a member of the American Firearms Association, please join. Go to joinafa.org. That's www.joinafa.org. Become a member of the American Firearms Association tonight. I just put up on the screen here. You can see this for yourself. So this will be the t-shirt that you get with your membership. All memberships come with a free AFA t-shirt. You can show your patriotism while you're out and about. That's why we have them. It's not just a shirt. It's to show people what you think of these issues. So go to joinafa.org and join up. And you know what? Join up in the name of Shannon Watts. Join up for her. She doesn't like us, and we don't blame her. I mean, communists tend not to like the American Firearms Association. Commies hate the Door brothers. And they hate us because the people in this comment section, so many of you are members of this organization, but they hate you because we continue to win. If we weren't winning, if we didn't have a lot of stuff going on, if we weren't putting major pressure on these congressmen and women, if we weren't being successful, they would ignore us entirely. And it's what they've tried to do, but now they can't do that any longer, and they're fighting back, and they're trying to shut us down. It's because we keep winning. So tonight already, Todd from Redding, California, has joined the American Firearms Association. Thank you, Todd. Clifford from Huntington, West Virginia, joined the American Firearms Association. If you want to hear your name read out tonight, I will do that if you join with AFA tonight. Bob says over the target. That's exactly what it is. You see, the NRA is in D.C. right now cutting deals on red flag gun confiscations. We know because, well, they've supported red flags for a long time. And this is the deal that the Democrats are trying to do with the Republicans with the NRA's support, with their blessing. If you don't believe me, I'll play this for you right here. This is NRA's former executive director, Chris Cox, calling on Congress to pass red flag gun confiscation laws. He does it with his own mouth. Here we go.
Importantly, we need to stop dangerous people before they act. So Congress should provide funding for states to adopt risk protection orders. This can help prevent violent behavior before it turns into a tragedy. These laws allow a court to intervene and temporarily remove firearms when a person threatens violence to themselves or others. To be effective and constitutional, they should have strong due process protections and require that the person get treatment.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. There's no such thing as a constitutional red flag law. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. So while the NRA is sitting there saying we need to take people's firearms away when they have not done anything wrong, they haven't done anything illegal, they haven't been arrested, they haven't been indicted, they haven't been tried, convicted, nothing. When the NRA is standing there saying that we can just straight up take away people's constitutional rights, that's a giant no. So the NRA can pound sand as well. Melinda says, how much money did they pay him to vomit their agenda? That's what it is. These people for so many years have been the same elitist, swamp dwelling, uber rich, super fancy, elites, troglodytes is what these people are. And it's what they have been for a very long time. And because the American Firearms Association is growing so quickly and our members are fighting so hard, and because we are up on Capitol Hill, have been all day long, will be over the next couple of days, meeting with Congress members, and you're going to be seeing a lot of those videos in the days ahead. I assume you guys probably all saw the great interview with Patrick Parsons, our executive vice president, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, one second here. We might have a guest here. I'm gonna send this over here. We might bring Chris back on here if we can make this work. It's pouring rain in Washington D.C. They're out there going to town on the left, while the NRA is sitting there whining and dining Democrats and Senate Republicans to find a deal on red flags. So we need to fight this stuff with everything we have. We're opposed to every version of red flag gun confiscations. And we're not supporting this stuff. HR 7910 is nothing more than a Democrat attempt at a total takeover of our Second Amendment freedoms. And I'm going to preach here for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. That Bill of Rights hanging over my shoulder right there, it says that all people are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. And we've all heard that phrase a million times. They used to teach that in school. They don't teach that in school anymore. All they do is indoctrinate our children. All they do is try to turn our children against their founding principles, and against their founding fathers, and against what has always made this country great. But those words quite literally mean that the right of a person to defend their lives is given by God himself, and it applies to all people everywhere. And the Second Amendment just codifies this. And really, it's a Second Amendment that applies to everyone in every country on earth. It is a human right to protect ourselves. And when Jerry Nadler sits up there and goes, hey, we need to pass HR 7910, and it does all of these common sense things that totally unmakes our Second Amendment freedoms, what he's saying is, I want you to be disarmed. I want you to be helpless. And we want all the guns to be in the hands of the government. We say hell no to that. Let's see here. I'm going to read a couple more names. See if we can get Chris on here as well. That'd be great. Okay, so Kevin McCarthy just became a member of the American Firearms Association. I don't think that this is the same Kevin McCarthy who runs the House Republicans, but he did just join with the American Firearms Association tonight. Thank you, Kevin. Jesus from Weston, Florida, just joined the American Firearms Association. Thank you for joining. We have Brian from Duffield, Virginia, just joined the American Firearms Association at a $55 level. Thank you so much. Let's just go through here a couple more. We have Robin from McGregor, Minnesota. You're in my neck of the woods, Robin. We'll do a couple more names here, and then we're going to bring Chris on here. So we have Clifford from Huntington, West Virginia. And we have, let's see, Edwin. Where are you from, Edwin? From Leesville, Louisiana, checking in. Very cool, guys. Let me know where you're watching from and join up with the American Firearms Association tonight. Chris, hop on in here. Let's talk.
Mic checked. Does it work?
Perfectly.
Oh,
what is
man.
going on? Out of the rain, finally?
What's that?
Out of the rain, finally?
Yeah, it seems like this is a swamp. So if it wasn't like 90 degrees and sticky and sweaty and a total disaster when you're up here and raining every 5 minutes, it wouldn't actually feel like the swamp that this hole is. But man, what a day. We were meeting with members of Congress. I mean, we just got off the video with you guys a little while ago. I jumped over across the river back to my hotel over here, but meeting with members of Congress. There's red shirt radical lying commie mommies. For those of you who've like fought battle and done battle with us in Iowa or Minnesota or Ohio, I mean, it's the same thing. We've all seen it before. But like I said a little while ago, they had professional actors up there. You probably talked with them about that a little bit too, Ben.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But one thing we're hearing is that, there's this vocal minority within the House Republican caucus who are like, what the hell is going on? You guys probably all saw the video with Marjorie. What a lady. I mean, I mean, she understands it, right? Like the House Republicans, they don't have the votes to stop Nancy corrupt ass Pelosi, who's older than dirt and who's been there for forever. And so this fight is in the freaking Senate, and all we've got is what we've been telling everybody about for the last couple of weeks here, and that is this bunch of milquetoast, do nothing, lazy ass Republicans, half of whom are not running for a re-election. And the buzz up here in the Hill today is like, man, what the heck? We got to put put our foot on the gas. And one thing I'll say is, like, a lot of these Republicans are like, thank you for doing this because nobody else is doing it. The gun people are finally starting to come on fire, and we hate having to be the only people in here that feel like we're fighting this fight. And for those of you watching, like Ohio, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, I mean, all over, wherever you're watching this right now, that's usually, I mean, you guys know that's the way these organizations were founded, was to not us be able to come here and be so winsome and sing patty cakes or sing kumbaya and playing patty cakes with these people. So they're very glad that people are getting fired up. They're just like, man, do whatever you guys can do to get a hell of a lot more people bombarding this place, because like I said, the other side is well represented up here right now.
Absolutely. Guys, you heard it from Chris. He's up in Washington, D.C. right now.
Gosh, I hate this place.
I've been there many times, and I know exactly how you feel. I feel like I'm the lucky one. I'm not up there today, but Chris, Patrick, and Aaron are doing the job. Tomorrow, I think there's going to be a huge gun control hearing, probably some votes. There's going to be votes on the House floor over the next couple of days. And we need you guys to help us get these things totally shut down. The biggest gun control bill, like we've been talking about, is HR 7910, but the bill they're likely going to try to get passed here is HR 2377, Nancy Pelosi's red flag gun confiscation bill. That's the bill that Democrats can get a bunch of Republicans to support. And that's why the great Marjorie Greene was calling out Lindsey Graham today on a video with Patrick Parsons, telling people to contact Lindsey Graham and tell him to start acting like a Republican. So guys, go to www.stopredflags.com. I personally believe, and Chris, I don't know what you think about this, but I believe that most of these people, many of these people like Lindsey Graham, it's like maybe at one point 30 years ago, 40 years ago, Lindsey Graham was a normal kind of person. Maybe he was just maybe at 25 years old, Lindsey was just kind of your normal guy. But these people are up there for so long that all they think about is dollar signs. All they think about is power, votes, elections, support, praise by the media, how many people are on my donor file. That's all these people care about anymore. And so if you sit there and try to think about U.S. senators like Lindsey Graham and go, oh, he might be like, no, these people are nothing like us. No. They're nothing like us. And that's why,
I mean, they're all sitting across from the Capitol right now, the Rayburn office building. They're sitting there in the Capitol Hill Club, sucking down, $120 steaks, and then they're throwing on $60 lobster tails faster than you can shake a stick at it. When you're up here, it's easy to see the people who are not politicians, right? They've got kids with them. They've got cameras around their necks. They've got sometimes they're on Segways. They're doing guided tours around the Capitol building and everything. But and for those people, it's kind of a neat place to come into and look around for a couple days, see all the historical sites. But these people have blasphemed everything that this country used to stand for. Their mere existence here in Washington, D.C. is a slap in the face against the founding fathers. But you can see the political class from a mile away, just like you can see those people with the cameras around their necks as tourists from along. You can see the corrupt, degenerate political class from a mile away up here. And so for the normal American, which I consider myself to be one, when you come up to a place like this and you're forced to interact with these people on a personal basis, a lot of the people I get to interact with up here, they're the good guys, but they're not all good guys. And tomorrow is going to be a huge dose of that. It's for any normal American, this place, just like, you really need to take a shower when you're done there. It's awful. It's awful. But like everything Ben just talked about, the corrupt power structure here, these people who have been here for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. In the case of Chuck Grassley, who I saw was meeting with dumbass, that actor from Texas,
McConaughey. My goodness.
McConaughey, like Chuck Grassley's been there as long as I've been alive. He's been in there since 1982. And the idea that these people know what's best for this country, and they think they can sit there and negotiate and barter the deals with Longshanks and barter away our freedoms piecemeal like this, it just like burns my, it burns yours.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, you drive around DC and it's like, take this exit to go see the house that George Washington lived in, and you're like, whoa, these people are treading where great men and women once housed these halls, these buildings, and they're soulless degenerates. Soulless degenerates. And the crazy thing is, most other gun rights organizations are the opposite of the American Firearms Association. They love going up there. They love talking with politicians. They love when they get to put on their suit and tie.
Yeah.
They love the power. They love the prestige. They love the selfies with people. And that's how most people get sucked into what's up, Chris?
No, like what you just said there just a minute ago is exactly what we've said for years now. To a lot of, and we're so many new people joining right now. I feel like it's kind of redundant to say this every now and then, but with so many new people joining the American Firearms Association, it bears repeating. But like you said, over time, I mean, when these people first started out, and this is the case with state level politicians, state level legislators, but it's exactly the same thing here in DC. These people start out maybe with good intentions, but unless you have a team of prayer warriors like surrounding you, right? And unless you have a team of people that are far more hardcore than you are, surrounding you, holding you accountable, and almost no politician does, over time, you can't help yourself. You cannot help yourself but get pulled way over to the left. You sell your soul. Usually what happens is they make you sit down, they make you a leader team, a leadership member team, a member of the leadership team, or they put you in charge of a subcommittee and they break your freaking conscience. Happens all the time up here. And so over time, usually they break within the first 6 months. That's usually how it works.
See,
6 months.
If you're listening to what Chris is saying right now, this is the difference between us and them. We know, and the Huffington Post knows we know, and Shannon Watts knows we know, and the NRA knows we know, the left, everybody, we know exactly how this game is played. We've watched it. We have fought against it for probably a combined 45, 50 years between those of us who are the head of the American Firearms Association. We have watched this happen so many times for so long that this is what makes us enemy number one to people like Shannon Watts and Michael Bloomberg and the rest of these people, is because there's a lot of gunnies out there who run YouTube channels, who run some Facebook pages. They read our emails, they find out what's going on in politics, and then they go out and they shoot a video and they say, we got to get the information out there. And they kind of
get my views up, get my ad rev off of my
exactly media. And more than that, they don't actually know how politics works. They don't actually know what makes these people turn. They don't actually know how to stop them. They don't actually know where to apply the pressure, how to apply the pressure, to what degree to apply the pressure, to make Congress, to make state capitals, state legislatures do what we want them to do. That's why HuffPost is not there running articles attacking the NRA today. Wouldn't they be doing that if the NRA was fighting against this gun control? No, they're running out articles against the American Firearms Association because we have shown our members, in my opinion, members of AFA and our state affiliates are the most educated, the gun owners in the state. I don't think there's anybody in American politics outside of the political class of these psychopaths who understands how this political game is played better than the members of the American Firearms Association and our state affiliate groups. And that is the reason why these people are desperate to make us look like kooks, look like a bunch of right-wing crazies, because our members, when you guys call your congressman and you go, hey, why haven't I heard you say one word against HR 2377, Pelosi's red flag bill? And if your congressional staffer sits there and goes, well, not all red flags are bad. You know, there's some versions that have some due process.
Gosh.
Our members, there's a lot of people out there who are not our members who sit there and go, oh, well, that all makes sense. Hey, thanks for your time. Our members say, cut the bullshit.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Stop feeding me this line of crap. I know you've got it written on a piece of paper in front of your face. What do I say when gun owners call in? And our people cut to the quick. They cut through the BS, and that freaks out politicians. It's very worrisome. It's not a good day for politicians when gun owners know what the hell is going on. And that's why we encourage you guys continually to join AFA. Go to www.joinafa.org, become a member of the American Firearms Association. We're putting out this information. And again, we didn't pick it up off of some random YouTube channel. Chris is there in DC. Aaron is there. Patrick is there. They're fighting this fight right now. They're going to be there all day tomorrow, the next day, as long as it takes to shut these gun control bills down. And we want you guys to get on board and fight this fight with us.
I thought it was funny just a second ago, Ben. I don't. It's kind of disappearing in the comment section, and on my little laptop here, it's harder to see things than when I'm on my desktop. But I think I saw former state senator Christy Zitto from Idaho, and she had agreed with what I think we were saying as far as the forces that are there that to corrupt these people, over time. But yeah, I mean, we could go on and on and on. I mean, I know sometimes it seems like we focus a lot on the worldview side of things here, but folks, if you don't know why you're fighting the fight that you are, if you don't know the stakes of the game, the deadly game that we are playing here, you're easily dissuaded. And let me tell you, and I know this from firsthand experience, these people are excellent liars. If you're watching for the first time our video tonight, you probably haven't heard this before. But whereas most people get to where they are in life, like anybody watching this right now, you get to where you are because you work hard or you have a set of skills that maybe not everybody has. And, you just bust your ass to get to where you are in life. These people get to where they are because of the power of their personalities, their ability to play people, to win people over, their personalities. They know how to use their personality against you at the drop of a hat, and that's what makes everything here so dangerous. That's why we focus on the why of what we're fighting for here more than anybody. I mean, you'll not hear this from anybody else, especially those YouTube jerkers who are just they feed off of this information, then go push it out there. But it's, if we don't know, it's the cliche. It's almost cliche. Those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. Those who don't know why they're fighting what they're fighting for and the nature of the people that we're up against are easily confused and discounted. So that's why we're asking everybody all the time. If I was a billionaire, I'll be honest with you right now, as much as I love all of you that are watching this video, if I was a billionaire, we probably wouldn't be live right now, but we asked for your memberships, we asked for your contributions, because we don't have billionaire backers like what's his name has out here, who was out in front of the Capitol a little while ago. For the life of me, his name always escapes me. March for Our Lives, huh?
Oh, Hogg.
Yeah, David Hogg. The guy doesn't have to go and raise any money. He doesn't have to worry about that stuff.
Right.
And so that's why we ask for your resources, because I think more than just the people watching this or the people that are already on our list, I think there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of more people just like you all over this country that want to fight this fight, but they don't know how to fight this fight. They know what they're feeling inside is a righteous anger. They know what's happening to our country is immoral, it's evil, it's corrupt, but they don't know how to fight back. And so we take your resources, we go out and find them. We get more people involved in this fight. And that's why we ask for your support, because if it's just the same, several thousand of us, it needs to be more than that. It needs to be, it needs to be 1 million of us, because it doesn't take the vast majority. It doesn't take a simple majority. It takes a keen, what's the quote, Ben? I'm going to butcher it, but a keen, irate minority setting brush fires in the minds of men in order to keep and defend and maintain our freedoms. That's what we do
true.
Here.
It's like,
go for it.
Everything you said is true on this. We spend all day, every day being inundated by the media with total, pure, and complete bullshit all day long.
Yeah.
All day long.
Collectively.
They sit there and they say, if you're straight, there's something wrong with you. You should be gay. If you're white, there's something terribly wrong with you. You're an oppressor. You're a racist. You should hang your head in shame. They say if you want to own guns, you must be violent. You must want to kill people. You must have some sort of fetish. They say
if you're black, you're a victim. You're a victim.
Yep, you're a victim. If you want to be married, if you have children, then you're anti-woman. You hate progress, right? If you don't want to kill babies, you hate women's rights, and you just want to see women be sent back to the Middle Ages. These people lie, and they have to in order to get their way. It's the only way they can succeed is by pulling some straight up 1984 Orwell, where they just play it over the loudspeakers, everybody. Play it over the loudspeakers so everybody can hear it, and it's all they can hear. And they do this to us. They've been doing this to us for decades upon decades. But here at the American Firearms Association, we are not ashamed. We don't hang our heads in shame at all. Maybe you're a Christian, maybe you're not. I am. I know Chris is. We stand very proudly for our heritage, for our faith, for our freedom, for the freedom of our country, for our founding fathers, these great men who came before us. We stand for our children, for the future of this nation. And there is nothing that any politician or any news media outlet source could possibly say to make me hang my head and go, oh boy, maybe I'm a bad guy. Maybe I'm, no. And that's why we do these shows. We want you guys to stand with us in that same type of love for freedom, hatred for the radical left, because they hate you. There's no peace with these people. There's no peace. Everybody goes, can't we just find some common ground? These people don't want common ground. No. They don't want middle of the road. They want all of it. Matthew McConaughey gets up there today and he gives this very professional actor performance, right? He's thumping on the table and he's impassioned and he's wiping tears and he's a great actor. That's why he gets paid so much.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they bring in actors to stand up there in front of the country and lecture us on how we should give up 500 million firearms because one crazy psycho did a crazy psycho thing. And the answer to that is no. You can't have our firearms. We're not going to give that up there. You're an actor. Your job is to sit there and try to convince us that what you're saying is real. And we don't believe you. And we're not going to let you shove this down our throats.
And like you just said there, Ben, they shove this down your throats, and because of the insane actions of one madman. But that's where they like it. I mean, at best case scenario, they'll admit that, but never do they admit that their system, their policies, their way of running this country is what is destroying this country. It's what creates these monsters. Again, I'm preaching here. I think all of you can agree with this, but you didn't see this kind of stuff back in the day when you drove a 1969 Dodge Charger to school, you stood up and said the Pledge of Allegiance every morning, and some kids stood up and offered prayer. You didn't see this back then,
right?
Because we had this beautiful system in place, and the people were they have taken God out of the schools. They have corrupted our youth. It's like the old, the charges against Socrates, right? He's corrupter of the youth. These people are corrupters of the youth. They're corrupting our kids by the millions, and they are generating these monsters and blaming us for it. In the communist Soviet Union, there was I forget the name of the department of it, but there was a Department of Truth, a Ministry of Truth, which its sole existence was to issue and gush out propaganda every single day. And of course, they called it the Ministry of Truth, and whatever the Russian terms for it is. But that's exactly what we get every single day. That's what Ben was talking about with the media. These Democrats, the radical left, these rhinos, by their silence, they're telling us they're forcing us to repeat the lie. They continue putting that stuff out there. They propagandize the population, and it's a form of it's a great big massive propaganda operation of their own, and it keeps us on defense.
Right. Eric says, I haven't seen Chris this tired. It's been a hell of a day. It's been a hell of a week.
It's been like a hell of 2 weeks.
2 weeks. It's been nonstop war, political war with these people. I mean, if you guys are getting our emails, if you've been watching our social media pages, it's been nonstop. I told you, we said this days ago. This is the fight of our lives. We've not seen our Second Amendment in this much danger since. Well, we didn't see it in this much danger in 2021. It was not this. There were not Republicans last year who were prepared to vote for gun control. And so in that way, our Second Amendment was safer during the big throwdowns last year than they are right now. That's the difference. So we've been firing on all cylinders. So we're asking you guys, get on board. We need help. We don't just say that. We need your help to see this through and to see this win. And what I was going to say about Matthew McConaughey was one part of what he said, and you hear this from politicians all the time, but part of what he said was, we want the whole cake. I believe he said, we want the whole cake, but we'll settle for a slice today. Okay. So these politicians sit here, and they've been doing this forever. And they sit here and they say, we know. And I heard this just today in Minnesota. A bunch of Democrats got up, had a press conference on gun control, and they'll straight up say, we know that universal background checks and red flag laws won't save all the lives, but it's a good start. These people have zero intention of ever stopping. You see, because if they pass a federal red flag bill, if they pass a universal national gun registry bill like HR 8, that will sit there for about 6 months, and they'll come right back and they'll say, there's shootings happening. We need to do something about this. We need an assault weapons ban. They will amp it up, and they will take a slice of that cake every single time until there's no cake left, until our Second Amendment is totally gone. We've always understood this, even while some FUDs out there sat there and said, well, what's wrong with banning a little bump stock? What's wrong with a little bit of this? What's wrong with background checks? What's wrong with a constitutional red flag law?
You know, kids curse your name.
Oh, it's 100% true, because that's not what they want. They want to totally unmake the Second Amendment.
And that goes for all the YouTubers out there right now. And I'm sure you're watching this video. But for all your YouTubers out there who are giving the National Shooting Sports Foundation, the trade group for the firearms manufacturers, for all of you giving them a pass for their tacit endorsement of red flags with due process, you're an idiot. I mean, come on, you gotta do better than that. You know, there is no such thing as a red flag law with due process. It does not exist. Again, I'm probably going to start preaching here, so I'm not going to, folks. We have a massive day tomorrow. I'm sure Ben, when I was live just like an hour ago, I think it was, over in front of the Library of Congress with the Capitol in the background, I think we explained the situation for tomorrow. Big gun control hearing tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We're going to try to be in that. This is the same bill isn't that right, Ben? I think this is the same bill they marked up in the Judiciary Committee last week.
7910.
The Wadler, Ralph Nadler's bill that's got all that stuff in it. That's tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. We have red flags on a red flag hearing tomorrow as well.
They keep changing the schedule on those things. I know there's supposed to be hearings today. They move some stuff around. I know there's supposed to be some votes tomorrow, but we're hearing that some of that stuff may be on Thursday as well, perhaps. So that's why we're there.
And they're flying out. We know that their fly out last votes are somewhere around noonish on Thursday. So fly out's going to happen right after that. So, we're going to be here all 3 days. We're here today. We're there tomorrow. There again on Thursday for as long as it takes. And we'll keep you guys update all along the way. I'm sure Ben's been putting those links up there. StopRedFlags.com. Again, this is going to boil down to the Senate. This is why we're laser focused on it. We got these deadbeat Republicans over there. Red flags is what they are coalescing around. And again, this is if another shooting doesn't happen tomorrow. It's funny. It's not funny. It's a damn shame, but it's amazing how many shootings are happening right now when they're trying to pass this stuff. So it's all on the table until Steiny die.
Yeah. When they didn't have the votes, then nobody talked about shootings. Now that there's a possibility of gun control being passed, every media outlet in America is scurrying for any BB gun shoot that's happening anywhere to throw it out there so that people sit there again. Repeat the lie. Listen to us inundate you. Listen to us inundate you. And so that people sit there. That's why you see people in the comment section going, oh, good Lord, the sky is falling. It's like, well, you're being inundated with propaganda. Turn your TVs off, people. I'm going to read a couple more names here really quickly for those who just joined up tonight already. We have Matthew from Minnesota. Doesn't have a town listed there. Thank you for joining, Matthew. We have John joined from Fenton, Missouri. Thank you so much for joining tonight, John. We have Melinda. We love when the ladies join from Pooler, Georgia.
You just know that they're the kind of people that would do our ancestors proud. Watch the old movies,
man. All of them.
Ones fighting hard right alongside their families. They knew what they were fighting for. People like her do too.
We have Wayne in Woodbury, Minnesota, not far from my location, and we have Christopher, who joined tonight from Oxford, Wisconsin. So those are the names we have for right now, you guys. God bless you all. We love you all. Thank you so much for coming on here tonight. I know it's late. No matter where you are in America, it's late right now to be watching this. Chris, thank you guys for being out there, going hard all day. And again, tomorrow, it's going to be a hell of a fight. We're going to have more information for you guys tomorrow. Go to www.joinafa.org. Become a member of the organization just as soon as we end this live stream. And we'd love to have you guys on board. There we go. It's thrown up right there on the screen for you all. God bless you. We're going to hop off for tonight. Sleep well, everybody. And let's get ready for the fight